In the deep forests of eastern Nigeria, far away from crowded cities and noisy roads, there was a village the outside world had forgotten. A village where old traditions still breathed, where moonlight meant more than beauty, where drums carried messages, not just music. And in that village, people feared one thing more than death itself: the sound of drums coming from the evil forest at midnight. They said the forest was cursed. Children were warned never to go near it. Hunters avoided it. Even brave men refused to speak loudly when passing its edge. Because according to the elders, something ancient still lived there. Something angry. Something that remembered. Now, in that village lived a poor young drummer named Ebube. Ebube. Quiet boy. Good heart. Sharp mind. But life was not kind to him. His grandfather had once been the greatest drummer in the village. People traveled from distant lands to hear him play. But after the old man died, the family's glory died with him. All that remained was poverty and whispers. Because villagers believed Ebube's bloodline carried something strange, something spiritual, something dangerous. Every festival night, Ebube played beautifully in the village square. Children danced, women laughed, men drank palm wine and celebrated. And whenever Ebube touched the drum, even old people forgot their pain. But after the music ended, the same villagers who danced to his rhythms walked away without paying him. Sometimes they gave him leftover yam. Sometimes nothing at all. That was how Ebube survived. Talent without reward. Gift without comfort.
At home, his blind grandmother, Mama Aku, waited inside
The rhythm
their
calls
leaking
to our
mud house.
ancestors. It
Old
flows
woman.
through me.
Weak body,
Your hands speak
but
the
sharp
old
spirit.
stories.
She knew things the village pretended to forget. And every night, she warned Ebube. Some sounds are not meant for
The
human
rhythm
ears.
calls to our ancestors. It
But
flows through
Ebube
me.
never understood what she meant.
Your hands speak the old
Not
stories.
until the night everything changed. One cold moonlit evening, Ebube sat outside his hut, playing softly on his drum.
Ebube, hear the spirit
Then
farming.
suddenly,
I see it, the
a
spirit!
strange rhythm
The earth
came into
gives
his
to those who
mind.
tend it. Teach me
Not
the way.
learned,
Honor the cycles.
practiced.
All will grow.
It felt old, ancient, as though his hands remembered something his mind did not. The moment he played it, Mama Aku froze inside the hut. Fear covered her face instantly. She rushed outside trembling. Stop playing! Ebube jumped in shock. Grandmother? That rhythm. Where did you hear it?
I don't know. It just came to me. Mama Aku began shaking violently. Never play it again. Then suddenly, from deep inside the forest, another drum answered. Boom! Ebube froze. Because the sound was not normal. It sounded alive. From that night onward, the forest began calling him. Every midnight, Ebube heard drums no one else could hear. Near the river, inside the farm, even inside his dreams. The rhythm followed him everywhere. At first, he resisted. But slowly, curiosity became stronger than fear. And one midnight, Ebube followed the sound into the evil forest. The deeper he walked, the stranger the forest became.
Wind moved unnaturally. Trees twisted like shadows. Even insects became silent. Then finally, Ebube saw it. An ancient drum hanging beneath a giant iroko tree.
Covered in white chalk, bloodstains, cowries, bones. And standing beside it was a tall, masked figure. Still, silent, not fully human. The spirit drummer. The figure spoke slowly.
Iroko
You
babami,
have your
gohong bona
father's
won tiotilo.
hands.
Ase, baba.
Fear entered
Di
Ebebe's
emidi le
chest
fiagwara
immediately.
rehan.
Who are you? The figure stepped closer. The village buried my body. But
For the
not
harmony of the
my
village,
sound.
you must be returned to the earth.
Thunder growled above the trees. And that was the beginning of the curse. Night after night, the spirit drummer taught Ebube forbidden rhythms. One rhythm called rain, another healed sickness, another revealed hidden secrets. And for the first time in his life, Ebube felt powerful, important, respected. But then, the spirit drummer revealed the final rhythm.
The dangerous one. Spirit drummer. This rhythm speaks to the dead. Ebube's heartbeat slowed. Ebube. Dead people? Spirit drummer. The dead are never far from this village. That same night, Ebube secretly played the forbidden rhythm inside his hut. And suddenly, the room became cold. The fire died by itself. Then the drum began vibrating alone, and a voice emerged from it. Not human, not spirit, something worse. Drum voice. Atula will die before sunrise. Ebube nearly collapsed from fear. Atula was healthy, strong, a farmer. But by morning, Atula fell dead inside his farm, and fear entered the village like poison. Then, the deaths continued. Every midnight, the drum spoke another name, and every morning, another person died. Nobody understood how. Nobody slept peacefully anymore. Churches became full. Traditional sacrifices increased. Neighbors began suspecting one another. Fear turned the village against itself. Chief Ogbuku became desperate. Publicly, he acted brave, but secretly, he was terrified because he knew something the village had buried long ago. A terrible secret. Meanwhile, Arellego, the young woman secretly in love with Ebube, began noticing his strange behavior. One night, she followed him secretly into the forest, and there, she saw Ebube speaking to the spirit drummer. Fear covered her face instantly. Later, she confronted him beside the river.
Ebube, wait!
Arellego, crying.
The shadows move.
You brought death into this village.
Ebube,
I didn't mean to. Then stop.
Ebube looked broken. I can't.
Why?
Because the drum no longer obeys me. Finally, Mama Aku revealed the truth. Many years ago, the villagers falsely accused the original spirit drummer of witchcraft. They buried him alive beneath the iroko tree, and Ebube's own father helped them do it. Now the spirit had returned for revenge. The drum wanted blood. Blood for blood. Then came the final night. Storm clouds swallowed the sky. The cursed drum began playing by itself. Louder. Angrier. Villagers screamed in terror.
Iroko babami.
Children
Gohong bona
cried.
won tiotilo.
Animals ran wildly.
Baba. Ji emidile
suddenly-
fiagwara rehan.
The drum spoke again. Drum voice. Chief Ogbuku. The chief collapsed immediately in fear. Chaos erupted. People accused one another. Madness consumed the village completely. That was when Ebube finally understood the truth. The curse would never stop.
Unless someone from the bloodline that awakened it made the final sacrifice. His bloodline. His life. Before dawn, Ebube carried the cursed drum back into the forest. Rain poured heavily around him. Adaigo ran after him, crying desperately. "Please don't go." Ebube stopped briefly, looked at her one final time. If the dead never rest, the living never heal. And then he disappeared into the darkness. Beneath the giant Iroko tree, the spirit drummer waited silently. Ebube raised his hand and struck the cursed drum one final time. Boom! The forest shook violently. Wind screamed through the trees. Birds exploded into the sky. And then, silence. Complete silence. The next morning, golden sunlight touched the village again. Children laughed once more. Birds returned. Peace returned. But Ebube never came back from the forest. Years later, children played near the old Iroko tree, and as the wind moved softly through the leaves, one child suddenly stopped, because from deep inside the forest, very faintly, came the sound of a drum. Boom. Because some rhythms should never be answered. Moral lesson: be careful what you pay attention to.